Hey gorgeous, welcome back to the makeup aisle. Today's video is going to be my monthly makeup drawer for the month of October. I didn't do one last month and I did have some requests for it, so I'm going to start the series back up. You never know who's interested and who's not, but I personally love seeing what other people are using, month to month, and just getting their take on some new products or some products that I might be interested in, and maybe I get a review during that time. So this is just a quick overview of what's going to be in my monthly makeup drawer for the month of October. And then I am just going to zoom you in. So starting back here, I have my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I used this once and really did like it, but I do want to try it a little more, especially now that the autumn is here in Connecticut, so my face and my skin is just going to look a little more sallow and need a little more kind of oomph-ing up, and I think that this might be the powder to do that. Below that is two of my tried and true pressed powders. The first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder, and then underneath that I have the Maybelline Fit Me powder, which I absolutely love. For bronzers this month, I pulled my Ulta Matte Bronzer, which I really do like. And this probably looks really light on camera, but it is much darker in kind of real life. But during the autumn and winter months, as I've said before, my skin doesn't get much sun, so I'm not as tan, so a lighter bronzer does work for me. I also pulled my Bare Minerals bronzer in the High Dive, which I absolutely love because it is a darker bronzer. So until my kind of summer tan fades away, I can use this until then. And I absolutely love this bronzer because there's no shimmer or glitter in it. It's just a beautiful matte bronzer. Moving on to this middle section here, I have some eyeshadow palettes. I had hauled these some time ago. I got these at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and these are Marc Jacobs like 3 palettes, which I purchased. I think it was like $9 or $14, but absolutely love the Marc Jacobs formula. I have one that has, I think, the 7 or 9 shades that my sister got for me at TJ Maxx, and I absolutely love them. I also have this palette here, and I am absolutely living for that gold on the left-hand side. I have swatched all of these colors, but I cannot wait to play with them. This is an individual eyeshadow from Bobbi Brown. And I haven't used this yet. This is a brand new one, and this is in Rich Navy. So that is what the color looks like. I cannot wait to put this on my eyes because I love blue smoky eyes. So having this navy kind of like in the outer V is, I think, going to look absolutely perfect. I also have 2 of the Maybelline City mini palettes. I did a get ready with me using these for my drugstore diaries series. The first one is the one by Makeup by Shayla, and then the second one here is Matte About Town, which was an exclusive to Walgreens. Then here I have an individual Sigma eyeshadow, and this is in Topaz. This I got when I joined their pro program, and which is so sweet of them. You know, they send you your card and then they send you a free eyeshadow, and this was the one that I got. Moving a little lower into that compartment, I have 2 of the 4 foundations that I pulled for this month. The first one is my CoverGirl Clean Matte, which I absolutely love. This is a beautiful BB cream, and it really does keep you matte, and I just thought that since my skin is going to get a little lighter, I would pull this out to use it. I also pulled my Fiona Styles matte finish foundation. I had hauled this quite some time ago, and I had used it, I believe, once or twice. I don't recall if I had spoken about it. The finish was very nice, but I do want to try it a little more because I think I only used it once or twice before. And then under here, continuing on with Fiona Styles, I pulled the medium dark sheer sculpting palette, which I got, I think, not this past time, but the last time that Ulta had their 21 Days of Beauty. And that is what that palette looks like. I really do like this contour palette. I think the powders are nice and soft. They blend out really well and just warm up the skin beautifully. We're going to move on to lips now, and I pulled a couple of different things for this month. Every single month, no matter what's going on, I always have some of my Smith's Rosebud Salve. I've talked about this before. I probably have about 4 of these, several throughout different parts of the house and also in my office, and I also have one in my purse that I carry with me no matter where I go. So the first lip color I have here is an e.l.f. lipstick, and this is in Orchid, which is a beautiful pink color, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So that's the e.l.f. Orchid shade. This I didn't think I was going to like, but I put it on and I absolutely fell in love with it. The next item I have is a lip gloss from L'Oreal, and this is in Caramel Kiss. It's a very sticky lip gloss, so if you don't like sticky lip glosses, this is probably not going to be one for you, but that's what the shade looks like there. I absolutely love this over lipstick. I don't put on too much, just enough to give it a little shine, and I honestly do not mind very sticky lip gloss, so this works for me beautifully. The next lip color I have is one of the Gerard Cosmetic Hydra Mattes, which is, and I've said it before, my favorite liquid lip formula. I just love that it dries down really nicely on the lips, even though it's matte. It is extremely comfortable to wear, and I really like it. This one is in Ecstasy, and there is Ecstasy swatched, so you can see what it looks like. The next lip product I have is a lip stain from Victoria's Secret, and this is what it looks like. So you get a little bit of color to it, but not too much, so it's more like a topper. This is not as sticky as the L'Oreal one that I had showed you earlier. This just feels really, really nice and comfortable. And the last lip product I have is the newest lip crayon from the most recent Deck of Scarlet palette. The lip liner is on top, and then the actual crayon is below that. I absolutely love the last lip crayon I got from Deck of Scarlet, so I am looking forward to using this very much. Moving on to this compartment here, I just have a couple of lip treatments and also a cuticle cream. These are the scrub and then also the lip treatment from Milani. These are very good. I use these a lot, and especially now with winter coming, I'm going to be using them even more often. I also have the Bite Beauty scrub in Cherry, which I always keep in my everyday makeup drawer. This little thing here, I think it's called Chuda or Huda. It's a healing hydrating cream. I had gotten it in a subscription box. I can't remember which one now, but it's basically for like dry elbows, knees, things like that. I used it for my cuticles at night, and it does wonders. Moving on to the highlighters that I pulled for this month, I have my Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter, and this is in Sin. I think most people have seen this, and everybody's going to watch Elba struggle with one hand to try to get this open without like tossing it across the room. It is an absolutely gorgeous highlight. The next one I have is my Jouer highlighter, and this is in Rose Quartz. Also an extremely beautiful highlight for the face. This is the one that spoke to me the most, though they do have several different shades of highlighters. Then an oldie but goodie I decided to bring out this month is the Mary Luminizer. And then I also have my Ofra Beverly Hills highlighter, which I got in a BoxyCharm several months ago. Moving on to blushes, really loving the blushes that I chose for this month. The first one is from Studio Makeup, and this is in Plum. The next one I have is from Lorac. These are some of my favorite blushes, and I don't pull them as much as I should because they are absolutely gorgeous. Pigmentation on these blushes, this is the, what is this? The buildable blushes. I always say that pigmentation on this is crazy good. Like, you have to really be careful when you put your brush in these blushes because they are so pigmented. This is my absolutely favorite shade. It is just so beautiful. I feel it works so well with my skin tone, whether in winter or in summer. So again, I really need to pull these out more because they're so gorgeous. And this is the shade Infrared. The next blush I have is from Too Faced. It's one of their Love Flush blushes, and this is in Your Love is King. I wanted to get a close-up of that because look at that detail in the design in the blush. The blush itself is absolutely gorgeous, blends out beautifully, and it's a gorgeous shade as well. But I just love the attention to detail that Too Faced paid to these blushes. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the last blush I have is from IT Cosmetics. This is the Je ne sais quoi blush. I didn't know when I first looked at this blush how beautiful it was truly going to be. It is a light variation. It's almost like an ombre blush, but when you swirl your brush in there and just get all of it together, it leaves the prettiest flush on your cheeks. It looks so healthy and so gorgeous. This is just one of the best blushes that I think I own. Then down here, per usual, I just have my Mary Kay Mineral Powder Foundation. I have talked about this a lot on my channel. I always have it in my everyday makeup drawer because if I feel a day that I don't want cream or liquid foundation, I will put this on. I love it because I do have oily skin, so using a mineral powder sometimes is better for like my oily T-zone and that sort of thing. So moving on to the top of the center compartment, I have my Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer. I also have the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow primer. I am absolutely loving this. I've talked about this on my channel. I had it for a while before I actually started using it, but I love it. It goes on the eyes almost like a concealer, but kind of dries a little clear, not so much like a paint pot. If you guys have seen any of my tutorials, you know I love using my paint pot in Painterly. So this goes on kind of looking like that, but it almost dries clear. But just the wear time, I think with this and eyeshadows over it, is just really, really gorgeous. Then I have my Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia. I always keep a pencil sharpener for any of my eye pencils because it's always that time you grab for the eye pencil and it doesn't have a sharp point. Continuing on in that same compartment, I have a CC cream by Osmosis Color. I purchased this on the recommendation of Brianna Stanko. She is an extremely thorough YouTuber. Her big thing, I mean, she does talk about makeup, but her big thing is skincare, which I absolutely can appreciate, especially as a more mature YouTuber as I am. I always put skincare first because you want to make your skin just look better for a longer amount of time. So what I can say about this, because I've used it a few times, it says Osmosis Plus Color. So this is kind of a light CC cream. You don't get too much coverage, but something does happen, which is so weird. Like I can't explain it. Your skin does look fresher. It looks a little more even. And then what I do is I do put a finishing powder on top of it. And the combination of that with any powder that I use is just absolutely gorgeous. So I love the fact that you're getting good skincare elements with the CC cream. And like I said, I used it a few times. I did like it, but I wanted to pull it in to really use it more and to really get used to kind of seeing that almost bare-faced type of foundation look, if you will. So like a no makeup day, this would be perfect for that. I also pulled my The Ordinary Serum Foundation. I actually used this today. I'm going to use it a few more times and then I'm going to do a review on both this and the full coverage because I do have that one as well. I really like this foundation because the shade is just a spot-on match, and it's rare that you can actually say that with any foundation. I like how light it is on the skin. It kind of sits there beautifully. It just basically feels like you're really wearing nothing. So right here, I just have a bunch of eyeliner and eyebrow pencils. They usually, for the most part, stay the same. I have my ColourPop gel pencil. I always have my Mod Stir pencil here for my tight lining the bottom inner rim, the lash line there. And then this month I pulled the Too Faced Sketch Marker, which is a really, really good liner. I also have my Revlon Color Stay Brow Pencil, which I really like. This always stays in here. It's the Too Faced Bulletproof Shadow Liner. And I always say this is one of the best liners I have ever used, but it is such a fat tip. And let me see if I can just show you here so you could see it. You see, so what I do is I line my eyes with another pencil, and then I will use this to go over top it because I just can't get a thin enough line. So if they made this in like a thin shape, I would like buy stock in the company because this is such a great formula. It lasts all day. And then here I also have the Maybelline Brow Precise that I've been trying out recently. I only pulled 3 foundation primers this month, but I'm okay with that because I'm kind of in between, like where the weather again is getting a little colder, so I'm not sweating as much and my skin is not as oily. The first one I pulled because I really just want to finish it more than anything is the Stila One Step Primer. I really love this primer because it's also a color corrector. It goes on so beautifully, almost like a moisturizer, and it feels so nice on the skin. Then the other 2 I have here are my Becca Evermatte Poreless primer, I've talked about this to death on my channel. It is my favorite matte primer because as soon as it hits your skin, it literally just dries down. And again, it doesn't dry your skin out, but it just dries down beautifully, gets a little tacky so that the foundation can really stick to your skin. And then I brought out an oldie, but a definite goodie. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is the primer that basically got me into primers. It was the first one I had ever used. And this is just like a repurchase because I always keep this in my collection. For correctors and concealers this month, I have a few different things here. I have my Smashbox Color Correcting Stick in Dark Peach, which I've talked about before. I absolutely love this. Then I also decided to bring out my Bobbi Brown Under Eye Corrector because I'm just trying to use this up. I really don't have a lot left. So it's like I just want to get through it. So I decided to pull it out this month to see if I can get through it. Then for concealers, I pulled one of my favorites, and I've always said this. I don't understand why people don't talk about it a little more here on YouTube, but this is the Lorac Porefection Concealer. Absolutely love the way this looks under my eyes. It's full coverage, it doesn't crease, it's creamy, it blends out absolutely beautifully, and I just love the way it conceals. Then the last two I have here are from Kat Von D. I hauled this with the Marc Jacobs eyeshadows that I had showed earlier, amongst a lot of other things. These two I had gotten at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, I forget which one, but I purchased both of these because they were $5, and I thought that mixing them would be good for under the eyes. I do like the way these work under the eyes, but I just wanted to use these a little more. So that does it for my everyday makeup drawer for the month of September. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please do not forget to subscribe and also click that little bell so you get alerted as to whenever I upload new videos. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.